almost through. There's one more thing, and that's the Meta Prize. The Meta Prize is a special thing. The Meta Prize is awarded to outstanding products or services supporting the European Multilingual Information Society. And now we're awarding the prize tonight for the 4th time. Also, brief recap to keep the tension mounting. Some of the, or not some, all of the previous winners actually, maybe from bottom to top. We had LDC and ELRA with the 2nd Meta Prize that they shared in 2011. Company Exalead with her product Voxalead, also the 2nd prize. We had GBGO mobile translators, also predicting back then the great success story that GBGO became shortly after. And Moses, funnily enough, clear candidate back then in 2011 for the Meta Prize. 1 year later, we had the JRC Optima activity of the European Commission, JRC in Italy, who provide the corpora that basically many machine translation projects and products rely upon. And last year, no, not last year, 2013, the last Meta Forum, we awarded the prize to the Rosetta Foundation for their groundbreaking work. So, again, the prize is awarded to outstanding products or services supporting the European Multilingual Information Society. And we had 3 nominations, and as you can see, of course, they are anonymous. The case is also very clear in this case. And Tamas, maybe you can read out what it says on the certificate without mentioning the name yet.
Oh, you mean reading the... Is it like this? For groundbreaking work in overcoming language barriers through a...
Louder and stick the mic to you.
For groundbreaking work in overcoming language barriers through a multilingual, lexicalized semantic network and ontology, making use of heterogeneous data services. Sorry. The resulting encyclopedic dictionary provides concepts and named entities lexicalized in many languages, enriched with semantic relations. Now you guessed? Yes! Amazing.
So, Roberto, the floor is yours.
Okay, so now...
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Well, I'm really honored. I mean, I don't have, I'm not sure I'm able to, to talk now. I'm so excited. So, I couldn't believe it when I was told. Okay, so, just a little bit of background. So, I'm coming from 15 years of research in my PhD topic, which was word sense evaluation. So I've always been very interested in automatically addressing this problem of computationally determining the meaning of words in context. Like Thomas and Mario played as strikers in Munich, and I've been struggling for associating the right meanings with the words, usually common nouns and verbs and so on, occurring in context. But ideally, one would like also to do that for named entities, like even partial mentions like Thomas and Mario. So I'm coming from this background, but the point is that already 15 years ago, we were facing 2 key problems. One was the so-called well-known knowledge acquisition bottleneck. Where do we get all this knowledge from? And, well, if we use a supervised system, we need a lot of training data, and we need to repeat this training effort and annotation effort for each and every language and each domain of interest. The second key problem, well, key point, was that the resources available at that time, and actually before BabelNet, were either focusing on lexicographic information, like computational lexicons like WordNet, or encyclopedic information, like all the Wikipedia-derived resources like DBpedia. And so these are great resources, but they are not bringing the two worlds together. And so it all started with the idea of merging WordNet and Wikipedia. And so initially, I promised in my project proposal as an ERC, European Research Council starting grant, that I would merge WordNet and Wikipedia, and in order to obtain a wide coverage semantic network, which would include both encyclopedic information and lexicographic one. So from Wikipedia, I was expecting to obtain named entities and specialized concepts. From WordNet, concepts that are usually lexicalized as common nouns, verbs, adjectives, and so on. But the nice thing is that there's a quite big intersection between these two resources, which are concepts from both resources. And so starting from this, a number of improvements came out. And so BabelNet now is a merger of several resources of different kinds, still keeping the promise of integrating all these different kinds of knowledge. And as of today, BabelNet 3.0, we have 6 different resources integrated, and more are to come. And these resources are, well, Wikipedia, WordNet, the most popular computational lexicon of English, Open Multilingual WordNet, which is a collection of open WordNets linked to the Princeton English WordNet, Wikipedia, which is the largest collaborative encyclopedia, Wikidata, which is the largest collaborative knowledge base, Wiktionary, which is the largest collaborative dictionary, and also other dictionaries like Omega Wiki, which is a medium-sized collaborative multilingual dictionary, which is also very interesting. And finally, high-quality automatic sense-based translations. So all this information is integrated into a single semantic network that can be used. And so why do we need BabelNet if it's not clear already? Well, first for multilinguality. So the same concept is expressed in tens of languages, sometimes hundreds, like Allen wrench or hex key. So it's a wrench for Allen screws. You have pictures, you have definitions, but you have a lot of translations into many other languages. So this is one single concept with multiple translations for several languages. So the second point is coverage. So we wanted to go for as many languages as possible. And so currently, BabelNet covers 271 languages, a lot of minority languages that were mentioned in the panel before, and 14 million entries. This is thanks to the integration of all these resources. It's like a puzzle, so you get a lot of different heterogeneous pieces of knowledge from the various resources. The other thing is, which I already mentioned, but I would like to stress a bit more, is that concepts and named entities now live together. And you can use one to improve the other, or you can use one to disambiguate the other. Like dictionary encyclopedic knowledge is now semantically interconnected. Like you can see here Mario Draghi connected to lcl-sapienza, or faculty as a concept connected to a named entity like Sapienza, or you have Latvia connected to Lithuanian cuisine, concepts like coast or drama, and named entities like taiga and Sigmund Augustus. So you see, it's a word, two words that live together. And then it also fosters an idea of the dictionary of the future, in which we no more have the paper-style dictionary transposed into electronic format. We have a new structure, which is a semantic network based on the idea coming from WordNet, extended to multilingual lexicalizations. So we have multilingual synsets now that we call Babel synsets, sets of synonyms in as many languages as possible. And an entry in the dictionary has pictures, has definitions in multiple languages, has translations in multiple languages. And so all this information allows us to move on. And also it provides a full-fledged taxonomy. And you can also query it via our Sparkle endpoint, which currently contains 2 billion triples. So, and it's going to become an important core of the linguistic linked open data cloud. And as an end user, what can you do? Well, you can search and translate. This is one of the most recent developments. So we added a new drop-down menu, thanks to which the user can query in a source language and obtain the translations in as many languages as she likes. So, for example, if I query and I type plane, I get the various meanings of plane with pictures, with translations into the languages I was interested in. And so this is, again, innovative compared to any other dictionary or encyclopedia. And finally, you can explore the network. As a user, you can play with knowledge. So you can see what is connected to the concept of interest. You can navigate the graph, and we are working on new versions of this. While as a computer scientist, what can you do? Well, you can do a lot of things. People are working on computer-assisted translation using BabelNet, or machine translation, automatic machine translation, much more analytics. But what I'm interested in is disambiguating, understanding text automatically. And so, for example, you can take a sentence or a text written in any language. This is Italian. Twitter strengthens private chats. You can now communicate with everybody. And what is really nice about this is that now you have a disambiguation of this text containing named entities, containing concepts and pictures. So now anybody, even if you don't speak Italian, at least you get an idea of what we're talking about. Visually, I mean, even communicate is depicted. And also, you can disambiguate in a language-agnostic setting. This was also mentioned earlier during, I think, a panel. And this is also a nice feature, because now, in a concept, we have words which lexicalize the concept in different languages. So why not mixing sentences written in different languages? So I could provide, for example, the same news written in English and in Italian. This is technology, Samsung fingerprint flow exposed, and the same, similar in Italian. I can disambiguate this and get concepts for the two sentences all together without knowing the languages that I'm using, by just matching the various lexicalizations and using morphological analysis to identify the right concepts in context. So there's much, much more, but unfortunately there's no time. And we are also running late. So one more thing I just wanted to mention. BabelNet is just the starting point. So, and one very important thing, and I'm very glad I'm here for this, is that this is part of a research project funded by the EU, by the European Research Council, but also for the linked data part in the FP7 framework program in the LEADER project. So it's very important to fund language technology research, because some projects might fail, some projects might do very well, but even if a number of these achieve results, interesting results, and enabling results, I think we need to continue this funding trend, because otherwise we're going to stop, and there's so much to do. So as I said, we just started, so much more needs to be done to cover more languages, to cover more lexicalizations, to label the semantic relations, and so on. So, well, I thank you also. I'm really excited about this prize. So now, I don't know, maybe you're also now a bit excited about BabelNet. So what will you do with BabelNet tonight? Thank you.
Congrats. So, this concludes our award ceremony. Congratulations again to all winners. Let's give them a round of applause.